What's up? I had to come up with something really fast, and wouldn't you know it, I had a paper towel roll again. So yeah, there we go. It wasn't as seamless as last time, and that's because the last time I did this, it was just the roll, and I had taped it to the camera, my little Elgato here, and that way I could like perfectly fit it around. But yeah, there we go. That's not too bad. What do you guys think? Anyway, how you guys doing? It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday again, as always. It's always Wednesday. It's never a different day. Anyway, this is the thumbnail review live stream. If you've never been to one before, let me explain how it goes. Okay, so basically in the description, there are two links. One for gaming, one for non-gaming. And you click on the link and then you submit a video, the video link of the thumbnail that you want me to check out. So you made a thumbnail for a video, whatever the link that video's at, that's what you submit, okay? Don't submit your channel link because then I won't know which thumbnail to look at. So, yeah, like Claudia just put there, that those are the links. Yeah, and then what I'll do is I will randomly select them. I'll go back and forth between gaming and non-gaming, and it's random. It's super random. There's no way to cheat the system. There might be, but I don't know it. And if you do it, then kudos. But yeah, so I'll just go back and forth, non-gaming, gaming, and yeah. So get your submissions in because we don't have a whole lot, and your chances are pretty high to get picked. And I'm gonna put my phone on mute. And yeah, so we're gonna kick off with something. I guess a little different. Last week I did this thing where I made a thumbnail, or I attempted to make somebody's thumbnail live, and I decided to do that again, but get my thoughts out beforehand. And I selected one of the early submissions for the thumbnail reviews. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump into that one first, just so you can see what I did, and I want to kind of talk about the thought process of why I chose to do the things that I did. Okay, so first the channel was Captain Shotgun, right? And the video was how to repair any battery corrosion damage in your blaster. And so yeah, I found out that it's actually a pretty common problem. I looked it up on Reddit, and this dude has definitely done his research because people were asking, like, how do you do this? It was a lot of people asking. So when I checked out the thumbnail, I didn't really see a whole lot going on here that had anything to do with Nerf guns or anything like that. Also, it just kind of repeated the title. It didn't really offer anything, like if I were searching for this, I couldn't visually connect it to the subject, right? So what I ended up doing was I searched on Reddit and I found a picture, and the picture was like, how do I get rid of this? And it was a picture where the battery goes in and the spring was all corroded. I'm not going to bring it up now, but I decided why wouldn't we do that? Why would, when people have a problem and they start to search on it for a video on it, they want to see a visual of their problem. They don't even have to read. They're like, that's what I got going on too. I'm going to click that. If you're solving a problem, you kind of want to present the problem in the thumbnail. So like people can connect to it before they even read the title or anything like that. So that said, people are expecting to see the corrosion, or at least the gun or the battery area. And so I downloaded this video, and I picked the closest spot where I could actually see the spring that he was cleaning. And I thought, okay, so I need to show the spring. Now the video's not 4K or anything. So the spring, there wasn't a whole lot of clarity on what was going on. Even a picture like this, it's not super clear when you, like, if you shrink it down to thumbnail size, like if you were looking on your phone, you still might not be able to tell what you're talking about. So what I did was let me just show you the thumbnail that I did. I picked a picture and I zoomed way in on it. I'll go ahead and kind of take you through step by step on why I did this. So I picked this picture, or maybe it was this one. It was one very similar, And so I zoomed way in on the spring itself, and I kind of selected the shape of the spring, and I AI generated like a metal shape, a metal spring look-alike thing, and then I would go over it over and over and over with like little brushes and everything to kind of make it look rusty, to kind of make it look corroded. And yeah, that's what you end up with there. And it's not a whole lot of high quality. It's not super high quality, but I think you get the idea, because if you're searching for this specific thing, you see that this is the part that's circled. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. This is the spring that's damaged. And then the thumbnail is pretty clear, like, okay, that's my gun. This is the part that I'm fixing. And then combined with the title, how to repair any battery corrosion damage in your blaster. Bam, there you go. That's exactly what I would expect to see if I was searching for that topic. I can kind of, for anybody that's interested, I can kind of show you the breakdown here of what this spring actually looked like, because it took some doing, for sure. I'm just going to go through and like start to hide little things that I did about it. I'll zoom way in so you can see it, because I found it kind of interesting how it turned out. But there's some corrosion, removing some rust, some other things that I painted on there, more rust. I brightened it at one point, and then I colored dark on the edges. You can see right here, once I remove it, then it's almost like it's not a part of the picture. So I had to shade each side to kind of make it fit in. And then when you actually remove it, that's what the spring actually looked like when you zoom way, way in. So there wasn't a whole lot of data in that image that I could use. But once I started AI generating things and really like, oh, I'm frozen, or okay, yeah, I'm frozen. Whatever. There we go. So there wasn't a whole lot of information to use from the original besides the actual shape of the spring, and that's how I did it. Now, I'm not sure if you're here, bro. Captain Shotgun. I emailed him the picture, and he said he's dealing with some stuff. The state that he lives in, that they dealt with the weather just like we did here in Ohio, and they're dealing with some things. But hopefully this helps you, man. Definitely give us like the results when you change it. You could even do an A/B test with your current one, but I really think that this topic has a lot of potential from what I saw in Reddit already. And also, I mean, it's just going to be so obvious when people go to click it. So all this stuff that I did, I know not everybody has that access to do all that AI stuff. So the way that you would prevent that is to just get the picture of the spring super up close, because you want to show the problem, right? And so if you want a really high quality picture, then you have to go way, way up close. I only did this AI crap because I didn't have that information. I didn't have the opportunity to get a really close picture of it, but you do. So you could literally just do a picture of the gun and then a picture way up close to the spring and make this exact thumbnail, and it gets the point across. So hopefully that helps you, man. I really think that I really like that thumbnail, honestly. I think that that's what people are looking for when they search for that stuff. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Anyway, for newbies, sometimes I'll bring your thumbnails into Photoshop and whip up something just to get ideas across. It doesn't mean it's a tutorial or anything. It's what I use. But a lot of the stuff that I do, it's really about the idea and the psychology of getting the idea across, rather than like how beautiful you can make something look. So anyway, we have these weekly Twitter contests going on, and we're checking out their thumbnails, like the winners. We check out their thumbnails on this stream, so we're gonna do that next. The winner was Mega MG Studios, and the title was To Hell and Back, God of War 2018, number 26. I'm assuming it's some type of series. We're gonna check that out. Okay, number 26, number 25. Okay, all right, I see what's going on. So, oh, that was the Twitter post when it got picked. So, To Hell and Back. I'm just assuming that it's a playthrough. Who knew how it could be cool with people from Norse mythology? Apparently. Oh well. Okay, so yeah, it's just a let's play. So when I look at your thumbnail, we could. Oh well, it's all right. I'm not playing audio or anything like that. So when I look at this thumbnail, I think what's so special about it outside of other Let's Plays? Like, why would I watch yours over anybody else's? That's really the question you have to ask yourself. Like you put some effort into here, like you put the freezing death behind the characters, like you masked it out, and that's cool and all. Just aesthetically, just real quick, there's so much negative space over here that I would have filled. It's difficult to adjust a Let's Play and move the character over there. Like you could select it out and move Kratos over to the left, and then you could just AI fill where he was standing, but it just wouldn't look like a game anymore because he's not dead center of the third person camera. So like it kind of makes me wonder, since it's a Let's Play. I tell people don't put their faces in thumbnails just to do it. But if they're kind of the star of the show, where it's their reaction or their commentary or something like that, like many Let's Plays are, then it's totally appropriate. So you could put yourself in there in that spot. But yeah, it's just like a very weird composition you got going on here. So the freezing death, if you were to move it anywhere, you could fill this spot, right? God of War, I don't know if you necessarily need it. We could try checking out God of War Let's Plays and let's see what we do there. God of War Let's Play. I'm just curious what these look like. Okay, a lot of them are like really high quality images of Kratos, and then you've got people's faces in there, especially when it's Let's Plays. Like these are even kind of boring to me. Because it's like, what makes it so special? Like, what are you reacting to or something like that? So if there's something that you could feature in your thumbnail that would be like, oh, I have to see what's going on there, then that's kind of that would create enough curiosity in my opinion. But freezing death, I'm not sure if that's the words you need to say, because I'm like, okay, cool, freezing death. Like I guess I don't get it very much. So if you could probably hype up the curiosity a little bit. But yeah, outside of that, the aesthetic, I would just like fill in that negative space a bit more. If you want, you could probably put words over here. I would probably make it about one of the characters, maybe the enemy, and the word says like, don't say this, but like just as an example of getting curiosity out of it. What did he just say? Or something like that. I mean, that might be too many words, but it's like, wait, what? He said something? I gotta click to find out what that was. So what's your description? I'm not gonna get my son's cure anywhere else. Okay. All right. So, I mean, maybe he has the cure, and pointing at the monster, or does he have it, or does he have the cure, or something like that. It's like it opens up this question that needs to be answered when you click it. But freezing death, it's just okay. So hopefully that helps a little bit. But I mean, dude, the image of him holding, I can't remember the dude's name, I played this a long time ago, but where he's holding the dude's head, like that is such a better, like that is so cool to me. That would be the shot that I would use, personally. But, yeah, the one you have, it's just like, okay. Going back to the niche and what works for them, I've seen a lot of, like, really good shots. If you just use this picture, and you just got rid of the mimir, that's it. You got rid of the caption, that would be a great picture to use, in my opinion. But hopefully that helps, man. There's just, there's a lot of ways to go about it, and generating curiosity is, it's a tough thing to do, but the more you do it, the better you get at it. Like that's been my experience. Like this, is this girl crying? I can't handle this, already crying. Like that right there, it's boom. Why? Why is she crying? I have to click to find out. That's great. This one, this girl has like the makeup, like yeah, the Kratos red line. Like that generates enough curiosity for me to wonder what's going on there. So yeah. There's just something special about all of them. You just got to kind of find what makes it special for you. What makes yours so special. Okie doke. All right, let's move on to, yeah, no problem. Since that was a gaming, we're gonna start with non-gaming. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. So what I do is I just get a random number, and that random number is 48. And it is JT Vlogs Life. Let's check this one out. This is okay. I tried to find Dave & Buster's flag. Did I find it? Oh, all right. I guess I'm not sure what the backstory is on this one. Like, it's interesting, but what do you mean? What's the flag? What's the story behind it? Can you get that idea across on the thumbnail? The thumbnail's cool, but I just don't understand. Is there something special about this flag that I should know about? And if so, you might want to get that idea across in the thumbnail. In my family, a hidden Dave & Buster's flag hidden around our town. Okay, so the flag's literally behind. Oh man. All right. So me and my family attempt to find the hidden Dave & Buster's flags hidden around our town. There's got to be a better way to convey that idea, because there's no context here. I just don't understand it. Yeah. So, man, I would look up thumbnails like trying to find hidden blank, right? And then in those thumbnails, you're gonna find like an arrow pointing at something, like or those hide and seek thumbnails where somebody gets found, or when you find a flag, right? So if there is any point, okay, hold on. I'm just curious. Okay, see this right here, you got this like clue thing. That offers, okay, it's a Dave & Buster's app and it says clue number 1. That gives more context into what it's about. I wish it wasn't so blurry, but just that alone conveys the idea a little better than what you already have. So I hope that helps a little bit. It's just the whole video is just you in the car, so I'm trying to find something that might help. Yeah, I would either feature that app, like you holding it, and then holding a flag. That would probably be the best way to do it. I keep looking at this camera. Play it on behind being a funny thumbnail, make it bigger, have dash lines on his head looking the wrong way. Okay. Yeah, I get what you're saying. If there's a place where he found it, then yeah, that would be really funny. But still, I don't know why. Why is he looking for it? What's the deal with the flag? What's the story behind it? It's just like, you have to make me interested. I have to know a little bit of context. So if you had the context of flag found on your phone, like on the app or whatever, and if there's a physical flag and you're holding it, then that would be like awesome, like double awesome. But if it said flag found and then it has the Dave & Buster's logo on the phone and you're like in the middle of nowhere in the background, that would be where you want to go, in my opinion. That's all I'm saying. That would give enough context, and it would make me interested to want to know more. Number 45 on gaming. Just saying. I'm just saying. Okay, so we've got Helldivers 2, the SG-451, cookout, loadout, you need. Okay. This is solid. I like, even not knowing much about the game, it's like, I don't know what you want me to say about this. Like, the only thing I could say is it too many words? But it only seems that way because SG-451 it almost seems like a mouthful. Like, I don't know. This is really cool. Like, even this little square thing that you made that carved out just enough space for the words. Like, this composition, the blur in the background, the color, like, I got nothing to say. Good job. Like, anybody that's searching for the SG-451, they see that Like, let me just point this out. Okay, you've got composition, you've got the immediately recognizable item of the that game players will know. You have SG451 that game players will know. You have room for everything. There's the nothing is like, man, nothing's messy. It's like nothing's cluttered, and the background is blurred just enough. Like, even the background might be recognizable to some players. But yeah, it's blurred just enough to really make that item pop. The views, it has 645 right now, but the thing is, if you look at the vidIQ tool, you'll see that normally, wow, man, this blew his other videos away just by immediate interest. But yeah, then like your cone of shame isn't shameful. How long have you been around? This is 142 videos. You've really got a style too. Look, you don't need to submit anymore to this thumbnail stream. Like, you got it. You got it. Don't stop doing it. If you decide to do something different, then come back. But I don't have anything to offer you. Yeah, for real. This is great. I wonder what the most popular is. The most popular is 3.4 thousand. You know, the only thing that I feel like would be holding this channel back is subject matter. And it's because it's such a niched down topic. And it's a niche that you own, obviously. Like, yeah. It's not very low views, seriously. It's a niche down topic. They have their own thing, and honestly, like, this is the kind of community you build, and it becomes your job because you knew exactly what to do from the start. So, yeah, great job. Okie doke, we're moving back to non-gaming. $29. Tossing plastic. I love it already. Don't even need to look at it. Oh, it's a frisbee. Okay, frisbee golf, disc golf. All right, so real quick, when I talk about curiosity, this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. Like, okay, yeah, it has an arrow. Okay, I get it. I like it. But okay, I hate the font color choice and and the reason you gave, like, I don't like the font. Anything about the words I hate. I love what they say, but I don't like the outer glow or the different weight for different letters. It's hokey to me. But if that's your style, then, like, by all means, do you. That's just me being a picky butthead. Where is the basket, though, is like, you have to click to find out. That is just, that is it in its simplest terms. You have to click to find out. Is it in the weeds? I don't know. Maybe I clicked to find out. Dude, you nailed it. You really nailed it. I thought it was about recycling. Yeah, I did. So, tossing plastic. We're cleaning up the ocean. 838 views after 19 hours. I would love to figure out the... I don't know. It's man, hold on one second. I wonder if I refresh, if it'll come back. I would love to see what the normal cone is for this channel. Nah, okay, whatever. Anyway, if I were to fix something, I'd have to watch the video to see if there were any other settings. Man, you have, like, such potential for great thumbnails. This right here is killer. I would love to kind of break... Wow, dude. Wow, that is awesome. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, I would love to, like, if there was something interesting about this basket and you pointed at it and made that a thumbnail too, like, that would be incredible. But yeah, you really got the idea and the curiosity down. Really, I guess it would just be about seeing if there are any other opportunities for other thumbnails. But this is great. Where's the basket? I would, like I said, the font choice. Yeah, that would be the only thing that I would change about it. Also, it looks like you put a little glow around yourself, which is a pretty cool idea. Yeah, man, I like it, though. I really think that you nailed the psychology of it, for sure. If anything, just do a couple different versions of it with, like, do different text or maybe different word choice and see if that performs better. If you can, I just want to try something real quick just to see if these greens pop. And you probably already did this because you probably already know how, but I just wanted to see if you made these greens pop just a bit more, if not those greens. It's more like yellow green. If you come on now. Man, there's a lot of orange, I guess, too. I guess it would have to be, one sec. Switch the reds to more green like this. So if ignore the arrow here in yourself. Let me just paint you out. If you could make the greens pop just a bit more, it might just pop off of the YouTube page itself. Now, you would probably, if you switch the text to red at that point, because red pops off of green, especially if there's a drop shadow, it might help pop it off just a little bit more with more color. But yeah, that's just something that I would attempt. But don't leave it like that. You need a little bit more subtlety. Anyway, let's go ahead and move back to gaming. There we go. Number 60. One of the more recent ones, Mr. Cal or Kai. It's so difficult to know if it's a lowercase L or a capital I sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. But I think it's an L. Okay, so this one seemed to perform better than usual. I made a honey farm, and here's what happened. Unicraft Season 2, Episode 6. All right, we got a series here. Okay. All right, now, it took me a second, but there's like a bunch of bees around a character. So, basically, all I would do about this, I love the angle, really. It's so much yellow that it just kind of blurs into everything, especially if you take it like way far out here. I have no idea what I'm looking at. So, if you were to, you know what, I'm not going to do it because it would take too much time. If there's a way to separate your character out color-wise, I would do that. That way you pop out. Like if you were wearing all green or something like that, it would help. Or that's probably diamond, actually, now that I think about it. If you were wearing all diamond and you made that blue pop out of the yellow, that would really, really set you off. And the only thing that you would have to do after that, select all the bees and put them on a different layer. If you have Photoshop, you just select them all as a group and press Ctrl-J, and it'll pop them off. Or you could mask it and then duplicate the layer. Anyway, and then just put like a small shadow under them. So they pop off of the background. And you could try blurring the background a little bit if that would help. But it would at least make the bees pop off. And so you have you got the bees, and then you've got the surroundings. And I think that would work really well. I wouldn't change much about the angle or anything. It's really cool, man. I really enjoy it. I just wish that the bees didn't get so lost in the honey. Know what I'm saying? Okay, let's move back to non-gaming. Okie doke. Number 72. The Arcane Orderly. That's what I was gonna say. The Arcane Orderly. Okay, man, I'm so sorry, but you gotta send a video link. It's, I don't know which, I mean, you only have 6 videos, so, let's just judge you real quick then. I'm trying to create life for myself through things I love, writing, reading. Okay, so, it's kind of book niche. Got some book stuff going on. The start of my journey as a reader, my August reads. I mean, honestly, this is more about you. It's more of like a blog. So, if I were you, I would try to. You might not know how to use Photoshop. If you could separate yourself from the background for one. let's just take this one real quick. I'm like taking somebody that broke the rules and giving them special treatment now. This is my show. I don't care. Okay, so let's just separate you. I did this on the last one too. I can't remember what channel that was, but it was a YouTube advice channel. I remember that. And this one might just be a little easier to do. Okay, so we're just going to pretend that this is part of your arms. This booktube thing. All right, so we've got you. We're going to separate you out. And then we're going to select all this crap and get rid of it. Well, for the most part. And so then I do a bit of a generative fill. And this is kind of how I would handle anything that is more like vlog style when the channel is more about you and you are kind of the star of the show. So anybody that has a vlog or something along those lines, I would probably do this if it's about you and like one other item, like if you're reviewing a book or something along those lines, it would really help. If it's a let's play, consider the background as more of gameplay instead, okay? All right, so we've got this plain background. This is what I would attempt to do. Sorry, I have this camera here. I just realized it's frozen. It doesn't even need to be there now. I don't know why that thing freezes so much. It's something's going on with that. All right, so you've got a blurred background, and you could actually try to make it pop a little bit more. I would make it either more green or more of a bluish hue. Where we go? Actually, that looks like crap. This all looks like crap. I don't like it. I would probably focus on more like one color. So whatever. We'll just, we'll kind of darken it. All right, then we have you, and we're just going to ignore the fact that you have letters and stuff on your shirt. All right, so then you would be on the left, and then if you were like holding up a book on the right, I would keep it pretty simple. Like say, okay, you, this is going to be great. Hold on. Okay. Here's my thumb. Oh man, I need some smoothing. There we go. And that is my hand. Okay, so hey guys, here's my book that I'm talking about in this video. This is my book. Okay, so you've got a book, and you could probably make it a little smaller, and then up here you could have words, and of course we would. Those are shorts, not a book. What does that mean? Oh, okay. A reader, I don't know. Writing, TBR, products with books. I see book stuff. I don't know what the shorts thing meant. It totally went over my head. I apologize. Okay, so we've got words. Obviously, it would be more than one, but you get the idea. And then, of course, we have a nice little arrow. Now, the arrow isn't necessarily important in this situation because... yeah, it's obvious that you're talking about a book, but you get the idea. That's probably what I would do. Really, really keep it really simple. You, another item. That's how I would do it. But yeah, you, another item, in text. That's all I would. That's all the elements that I would keep. So hopefully that helps a little bit. The more you change up your background, the more interesting you make it. It like if there's a lot of color, that means that your thumbnail will probably pop just a little bit better on the YouTube home screen. Your drawing looked like shorts, not a book at the beginning. Did they? Oh, I get it. Okay, sorry. I didn't blame them. I said it went over my head, so. Okie doke, we're going to gaming. Because books aren't games. No matter how many times I try, they're not games. They're boring. They're boring and I have to read them. I got a couple right here. Actually, The War of Art is what I've been reading recently, and I highly recommend it. The War of Art. Not The Art of War. That one is a good one too, but this one's The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. Read it! Come on! Please. Okay. Ba-da-ba-bow. Okay. Okay. Cool. We got some familiars we're dealing with. Pathfinder 2E, right? This is D&D, right? I'm not mistaken. Pathfinder is a... Hold on. I'm pretty sure this is D&D. Somebody answer before I... Oh no, it's... Pathfinder is a role-playing game. I thought Pathfinder was like a book for D&D. Okay, so you've got Pathfinder 2E. Every amazing remastered familiar ability in Pathfinder 2E. Every amazing... You know, with this title, I almost wonder if removing the word amazing would help. Just, oh, Pathfinder's the newer D&D. Okay. Like, I understand the impulse to want to put the word amazing in there, but I wonder if, like, people that are searching it, they don't need to be sold on it. They just need to know the information, I would think. That's just me. Pathfinder's better than D&D. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Good to know. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, if I were searching for, like, remastered familiar abilities, I wouldn't need to be sold on it. Like, this is almost a search-based video, so you might not need to have to, like, be, oh, it's amazing, you know. It might just be, like, give me the info. So, yeah, if you can try that if you want. It's just the first thing that I thought. But I understand why you did it. Remastered familiar abilities. Okay. Okay, I gotta tell you, there's too many animals, but I do find this flying cat really interesting. If you made a... Hold on, real quick. If your whole video is like this, it's just you... Okay, that's no problem. I just wonder... Pathfinder 2E familiar... abilities. I just want to see like what Google images pop up. Okay, this is kind of what I was thinking, is that you'd have a familiar and then you'd have some text. Now this one is the complete familiar abilities guide, which is like, okay, if I'm just looking for information, I definitely want the complete guide on it. So that might be another way to another direction to go with your packaging and your title. So yeah, anyway, what I would do is I would simplify this, and I would, man, I wish I could find that cat. If I could quickly do it on my phone, just like circle the cat and find it on Google. Wait, can I paste this? No, I can't. That would be cool though. All right, so yeah, this one's gonna be a bit of a mess, but I would do the cat on the right, like even just more zoomed in right now. I know that this is the way to go, but this cat, it just kind of pops to me. And if you just focused on one on the right side, you'd have like the background darker. There's just so much going on in your background, and then you have a simplified text on the left side. The font that you picked, totally fine. The color you picked, it all fits and everything. It's fine. It's just yeah, I would just do the two elements on that. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Quickly Google Pathfinder 2E familiar abilities, and just, dude, honestly, sometimes what I'll do is, man, that guy's got quite the setup. I just bit my tongue when I said the word setup. Okay, so it looks like they've got 3 elements here. How did that work? I just copied it, and it didn't want to copy. They have like a border and everything. You don't have to go all that crazy. It also looks like they AI generated that cat, which is an option. But yeah, so they've got one. Wow. They've got one element. They've got the Pathfinder logo element, and then they've got the cat. Yeah. That's kind of what I would do. So anyway, sometimes I do this is I'll just drag in a thumbnail that I really like the composition of, which the composition here is text on left, familiar on right. And then I would just drag in my familiar, make it as big as theirs. I would start typing text and make it as big as theirs, and then delete their picture. And then you kind of have the basis of what your thumbnail should be. And you already know that that size of text works, that size of picture works because it worked for them. And that's how you use data to make decisions for yourself. So, yeah. Hopefully that helped a little bit. We got questions coming up, I believe. No, we don't. Not yet. I just I lose track. All right. We are going with non-gaming. Number 5. Okay. Data array or data array, just depending on how they pronounce it. Oh, I did see this one already. Okay, so humans are mean, and then you've put your face on a robot. This is like, it's cool. Based off the picture alone, I'm not sure what it's about, okay? But with the... Man. There might be a better way to go about this. Why we must be nice to AI or die? Like, your title is killer. Man, if you could somehow embody that, like, holy crap. Be nice to AI or die. Like, that's just like, wow, that's powerful. And then you got humans are mean. It's like, oh man, I just wish that there was a better way to embody your title in your thumbnail. Like if you had a robot, I don't know if you could do this, but if you had a robot that said "be nice to me" or "die," then that would make sense more than humans are mean, I guess. Man. There's got to be a way to do this packaging differently. There's a plane outside. I'm trying to think of like what I would do. If I was making this, I would probably maybe focus on like a interesting situation, or oh yeah, like old school Terminator is definitely a way to go. If you had a Terminator and it's like, oh, this is our future or something, be nice or this will happen, like that sort of idea, I would probably aim for that. That said, ooh, you got TNG in there. That said, I just want to point out that like your design skills here are really unique and interesting, and I think it's really cool. But that's the thing, man. I love how you put yourself in this thumbnail, but does it interest me? Is there a reason that you did it that makes it so compelling that somebody has to click? That should probably be your focus. Aesthetically, really, really cool. I love that. I love the style. I love the design. Everything fits really well, and I wouldn't change anything style-wise. Even the underline mean thing, it's just like, that's cool. I like it. It's just, it doesn't generate enough curiosity for me. It almost doesn't get the idea across so much about being nice to AI, but then again, I haven't watched the video, so I don't know exactly what gets said. Man, this freaking video took a turn, huh? I wish there was a channel that was like yours. Okay, so if you search like AI will be the end, okay? This kind of thing might lead you in a direction. Okay, you can't stop me killing you because like this sort of thing. Okay, bam, that is immediate. Like, okay, look at this robot that I've never really seen before. It looks scary because there's no skin on its face. Like if that said "be nice to me or die," it would get me to click. The reason it works so well for them is because it stops mid-sentence and you have to click to to figure out what it actually said. So I know I'm not giving you an exact answer, but I hope this leads you in a general direction of where to head. Yeah, that's a really tough one, and honestly, there aren't a whole lot of channels exactly like yours, so it's going to be tough to emulate or imitate somebody else's type of idea and make it your own. So yeah, you're kind of in one of those niches that it's like you got to improvise a little bit and just experiment. So yeah, okay. Yeah, come back to the next one and send another one. I hope that I can help a little bit more next time. I mean, that's the best I can give you on that. Just a general direction. That's really difficult. Number 46, Stinge, pipe thing, and then BS. Yeah, questions are coming, okay? Just so you guys know, questions are coming. That means you have to put hashtag question and then ask a question, and Claudia will collect the questions, and she'll throw out all the stupid ones, and then I'll answer some. And sometimes the stupid ones make it through, so you'll never know if you're stupid or not. Okay, why your favorite brawler says a lot about you. Okay. This is really cool. I get it. I don't get the thumbnail without the title, but that's okay. What your favorite brawler says about you. If you want to A-B something, I wouldn't stop using this one, by the way. It's great. But if you want to A-B one, then put 3 brawlers on the left, and then put equals toxic, equals romantic, equals stupid dumb doo-doo face, or whatever you want the third one to mean. And that might, like, if it almost looks like a quiz type thing, then people will really understand what you're doing. If it says, like, what your brawler says about you at the top, just like real small, and it looks like a quiz, then people will immediately know what's going on outside of your title. They'll actually understand it from, here, I'm just going to draw real quick so you can see the ridiculousness that's in my brain. Okay. What I'm thinking is, oh, good God. Okay, there we go. So you've got like, hold on, let me just, hopefully this works. You've got like one of these thingies, which is, they call it a square where I come from. But then you have, like a brawler here, brawler here, brawler here, and then equals, equals, equals. And then, like, you've got dumb, and you get the idea. And then up here it says, what your favorite brawler, or what your brawler says about you, or something like that. And it looks almost like a little guide or something. And a little trick that I do sometimes is I'll make a 4th thing, and I'll have it cut off at the bottom. And then it's like, oh, crap, there's more to know. And that's almost like a little bit of curiosity there too. It's like, wow, I really should click the video to see what else is below this thumbnail that's not showing. So just a little piece of value for you. But yeah, so I would try something like that. You clearly have design skills, and it doesn't seem like it'd be a problem for you. But yeah, it's very cool, and it looks like this thing shot straight up. So good job. I mean, 700 views for 14 subscribers. Like, what is this? What is this person doing? Great job. Great job. Also, their video is not, there's no BS. It's just like it immediately gets into the brawler and what it says, and it does the exact same screen for all of it. Wow. I mean, honestly, great job. Like, seriously, thanks for going against the grain when it comes to YouTube. Okay, are we doing questions? Let's do some questions. Okay? Let's do some questions. Oh, Planko and Chill gifted 5 vidIQ memberships. Thank you so much. I didn't know you could gift memberships on YouTube, and here I am giving YouTube advice. I need to stream on my personal channel. Hashtag question, how do you decide A good font to pull viewers. Okay, I can show you real quick. Let me just show you what I mean when I say good ones. And for those that have seen this already, apologies. I usually say this kind of stuff a lot, but this is a good font. All right, so what I tend to go for when I think about fonts is sans serif. And what sans serif means is that it doesn't have any of these little fancy diddly-doos on the end. These right here, this thing, this little thing, these are called serifs. And so when you look for a sans serif font, you'll see like this right here is a sans serif. Sans in Latin means non, I think. So yeah, it just means without, basically. So yeah, Arial is fine. I usually try to pick sans serif font and a little bit bolder. Like this right here is perfect to me. Just Arial bold, totally fine. A couple of my go-tos are Anton, depending on if the font needs to be squeezed. So I've got Anton, and then Impact is another one that if it needs to be squeezed, but Impact is the font that got used in all the old school memes, like at the bottom where it would just be a picture and then there'd be words. So sometimes Impact is like, it's too memey, but yeah. So I'll use Anton for like squished. Enter's fine. You could use the John Scott font, which is a font that I designed. Actually, no, that's not a very good font, but I used my handwriting and made a font out of it. So you'll see that a lot in our vidIQ videos. They use the John Scott font. Sometimes I'll use drawing fonts. So I mix sans serif bold fonts. Let's just say like Helvetica's one. Enter's one. Gotham is a really, really good one. Gotham is great. And then I'll combine that with a hand-drawn font. Sometimes like felt tip fonts are good. There's one called Chantal. That's fine. Childhood. I really like Childhood. That's like hand-drawn. And then sometimes I'll use chalk, but that doesn't really apply. CC sign language. These are all just like Adobe and Google fonts that you can get. So yeah, I combine a really bold sans serif font with like something that looks like a hand-drawn font for little accents. But yeah, mostly in thumbnails I go for bold, and then yeah, as for the accents, that'll just be in my editing more than thumbnails. Yeah, permanent marker, that one's pretty good too. And Nobel is another one that you could actually make bold. Poppins is one you could make bold. Montserrat is one that you could make bold. These are all like really interesting sans serif fonts. So yeah, now I'm ready to move on. Hopefully that helps. What about historical fonts? Period fonts like the Roman Empire, colonial period. By the way, thank you for the $20. That's amazing. I understand why you would want to do that, and if there's a way that you can make them bold, then sure. Like, real quick, let's check out Times New Roman, okay? We're just gonna say Roman Empire, okay? And we're gonna go with Times New Roman, and then we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna click on bold because that's what you want. The problem with a lot of these serif fonts is once you get to a certain point where somebody wants to write a bunch of words or whatever, then it kind of gets lost, and the thinner it is, the harder it is to see. Now, Times New Roman is like top tier for serif fonts, in my opinion. But what you're looking at right now is white on black, and it has like the best contrast. So compare it to something like lighter on less light, and it's just like with less contrast, these non-bold letters, all these little swirls, sometimes get lost. So if you're going to go that route, I'm going to say you might want to go with a bolder version of it. Yeah, so Times New Roman is top tier, in my opinion. But there's another one that I found the other day that I loved that was a serif font. I really wish I could remember it. Yeah, see that right there, Courier, that doesn't apply to what you're saying, but it's just too thin for thumbnails. Copperplate, that's like that. I kind of get why you would want to do that, but it's also too thin. Even like the bold version might work, but yeah, yeah, it's tough. It's a little more difficult. If you have like one of these right here, you don't have one of those because you don't do it. Don't do this right here. Don't use this. That's all I'm saying. This right here is ridiculous. All these little swirls and everything. It's like, if it's the only thing on your thumbnail, sure. If it's the only focus that you want people to look at, I guess you could do it. But other than that, which would make a terrible thumbnail, by the way, you should just delete this font if you have it. That's all I'm saying. It probably comes with the computer. Anyway, yeah, hopefully that helps a little bit. How important is branding? Consistent colors, fonts, thumbnails. It depends. I mean, if you're running a business and you have like over 100,000 subscribers on your channel and stuff, and they recognize your brand, for example, let's just I'm gonna open up my personal channel and I'm gonna show you guys, just because I know what will pop on my home feed, and I'm sure we'll see some branding. It does work for some people. And when you see it, you immediately know what that channel is. And I guess it helps. Like Van Neistat here, his branding is, you have, I'm so sorry, I'm not showing you. Oh, I accidentally clicked on something. Van Neistat here, his branding is like this little, you guys can see that. It's the yellow rectangle with like man, what's that called? Dymo. It's the Dino. Yeah, Dino, like little stamp lettering or whatever. It's more like typewriter for him, but yeah. So that's kind of his branding, and when you see that, you know, oh, that's Van Neistat. Or I don't know. You see Corridor Crew, and you see that little thing in the bottom left corner. It works for these channels because they're so big that people immediately recognize them when they see it. But if you're a smaller channel, if say you have like 5,000 subscribers or under, then I would recommend experimenting with as many different types of thumbnails that you can, because you're not quite hurting anything unless you're a super small business with a super small target audience and their own little thing that they recognize your brand. Like it's very rare that would be the case. So my recommendation is that you just try so many different things just to see what works, because the more you learn, the better off you'll be. There is like Darknet Diaries. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this, but Darknet Diaries is this podcast that talks about hackers, and every one of their thumbnails is immediately recognizable because it's black, white, and red, and it's like all drawn and stuff. And it's like, cool. Like as soon as I see that, I know that that's Jack Reciter. Like it's incredible to have that immediate connection with people. But I don't think that I would ever have it if he didn't have over 100,000 subscribers. So hopefully that helps a little bit. My personal channel is like at 3,000 because I haven't done so much with it, and I would never try to brand anything on it, because it's like, who the hell am I, right? Like it doesn't matter until you're that big of a YouTuber, in my opinion. I don't know why I clicked that CBS thing. I never even watched the news on YouTube. I never even watched the news. Should you crank up the saturation for thumbnails like Cocomelon does? Cocomelon does. Or is it okay to be subtle? I think it depends. I mean, if your target audience is children, I would highly recommend cranking up the saturation, because they don't care about anything boring. Like they want as much stimulation as possible. So yeah, I think it helps in a lot of cases to stimulate people, to catch their eye, that sort of thing. But there are like cinematic channels, for instance. They'll have these like kind of muted pastel type colors, and the reason that they do it, for one, that's their style, and they like that a lot. But two, when people are looking for like cinematic type videos, which I got into that a little bit to learn about a lot about camera work, as soon as I saw that style of thumbnail, I knew what type of YouTuber they were, and I knew to click on that because that's what I was into. So, like I said, it kind of depends. There are plenty of like really just dark thumbnails that I find appealing because there might be one thing in that dark thumbnail that really pops, like bright red lettering or something along those lines. There is a podcast, I'm trying to think of what it was, but basically it puts the person on the right, and then on the left, it's here, like this. One sec. This Brett Malinowski, I don't think I've ever watched this guy, but look, it's a dark thumbnail, and there's not a whole lot of saturation on it, but it pops because of the contrast of the red $5 million right there. So that's exactly the type of thumbnail I was talking about. It's just I didn't expect it to be that guy. I don't think I've ever watched him before. So yeah, it helps somewhat. It also helps to do it on nothing but like one item, because that's how you get contrast. Know what I'm saying? Okay, how would you go about designing a thumbnail for an ambient video to stand out from your niche? An ambient video? I don't know what that means. An ambient video. Like, are you doing like ambient soundscapes, or I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. If it's a video, ambient music to stand out from your niche. If your niche is not music, but you want to do an ambient music, look, I don't know. Either way, basically what I would do is I would search in that niche of the type of video that you're doing and see what works and kind of base it off of that. What was the question again? Is it how to stand out? Or what was it? Claudia? Are you there? Well, either way. Okay, yeah. So it's how to stand out. I see you. So, yeah, I would go and look at that niche and just kind of see what works and base your decisions off of that. I think that if you're doing something to stand out from your own niche, sometimes it's a little dangerous because it might confuse the algorithm that's kind of still learning about you. But if you really want it to stand out, search what works in that niche. That's what I would do. It's okay. It's okay. I see you. How do you know if a sponsor is legit and not a random guy in your inbox trying to scam you? I don't have experience in this, funny enough. I have never dealt personally with sponsors. The people here at vidIQ, we have like a whole team. Actually, I don't even think we're sponsored by anything. I don't know. But anyway, that's a whole separate thing with vidIQ. But for me, I've never been asked to be sponsored. But I have seen a lot of people talk about it in Reddit. And honestly, just hop in the YouTubers subreddit and just kind of search your topic, because there are a lot of people in there that have dealt with the same stuff. And there are a lot of telltale signs that let you know when something is kind of a scam. So I know that when I get to that point on my own channel, I'm going to go to Reddit and see what people talk about. And what is it? Is it Justin Moore? Is that his name? Justin Moore. Sponsorship coach. I think that's his name. Yeah, Justin Moore at Creator Wizard on Instagram. This is the guy. If you want to know more about sponsors and stuff like that, I know that he's the guy that I'll go to and listen to when it comes to questions like that. I don't personally have experience in it, so I can't speak on it. I'm sorry. But I'll tell you this. I might get sponsored one day. It's very weird when I make a joke, it's just dead silent in here. So like, to me, I'm just like completely alone talking to a camera, reading text, but I don't know. I know some of you are laughing, so that's all that matters. Okay. I know that there's, there we go. There's some laughs there. Kimmy, can you demonstrate making a thumbnail from a random YouTube video just to show people how to make a thumbnail sort of with nothing but their video footage? Yeah, I can, but I can't just say a random one. I would need one to work off of. I tried this in the last stream, but I also wasn't feeling very good that day. I couldn't like get my thoughts together. Whatever. Turned out to be low potassium, by the way. So, Eat your bananas, folks. But yeah, so I was like real spacey that day. I think I'll do it again, but I can't do it right now. But yeah, we'll get there again. If you came a little late into the stream, I kind of broke down a previous thumbnail that I did of like one of the first people that submitted. So yeah, go back and check that out. That might help a little bit, but yeah, hopefully that helps a little bit. If you want to go back to the previous stream, you can see kind of how spaced out I am, but I do kind of show the process of what I'm looking for in a video. And yeah, their video was very dark. It was like a haunted Disneyland tour thing. It was tough to really pick footage out of. You might want to put it on double speed, but that might help until I can actually do one of those. Do a vidIQ thumbnail live. No! No. No. By the way, bananas can help potassium, but the drink body armor, it's like Gatorade, but yeah, it's got like 25% potassium, and I don't recommend pounding 4 of those in a row. There's a reason that it only has 25. You gotta give your body time to absorb potassium over time. If you just took 100% of your day's potassium in one pill, I'm just saying, it's not good for you. Not good for anybody. All right, we are moving back to, actually, you know what? We're actually gonna do something called we doing the 2-second test. So basically how the 2-second test works is I open somebody's thumbnail just like before, and then I give you guys 2 seconds to look at it, and you have to guess what the video's about. Okay? Okay. Okay? Okay. What was the last one? Data array, or was it gaming, or was it, I can't remember. It was either Gaming Ray or the Brawl Stars. Okay, whatever. I'm doing non-gaming, so here we go. Number 97. Bow, bow, boom, boom, bow, 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 bow. Okay, you guys ready? Here we go. All right, you gotta guess. You gotta guess. Wow, wow. All right, we got basketball. Might be basketball. Digital art. Not a clue. Wild painting. Thank you, Claudia. No clue. Basketball. Trying to paint some community canvas. All right. Okay. Drawing competition game. That's kind of what I thought. That's kind of what we're like. It looked like a little bit of a community. Everybody kind of gets to draw on the same canvas type thing. Community canvas might be what it's called. Drawing my community suggestions. Oh, okay. No, that's not at all what I thought it was. Okay, it looks like they're on Millinote, or, oh, it might be Krita or something like that. So they're just drawing what the community suggests. Okay, my suggestion here, this is Hoplexers. Hey, my suggestion would be to, okay, see this little guy right here? That seems to be like your thing anyway, outside of the Roman Empire. So what I would do is you have this guy that's like real confused, just kind of wondering why he exists. And then you have a, if your community is, do you think it's a good idea to get the audience involved with the video? For example, I asked one, or what I should draw. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you did ask a question. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is you. I think it's a great idea. I just think that there's a way to show it. Okay. Now, you might not in this. Okay, right here. You already did it. You messed up, dude. Hold on. Come on now. Okay. So here's the deal. This suggestion isn't very interesting to me. Yeah, other people might be interested, but it's one of those things like, it's whatever. Say they told you to draw uh, um, a chicken with a human body or something like that, and you take that little what am I selecting here? You take that little Discord thing, dude. I am so sick of this freaking selection program. Snag it, pain in the butt. Okay. And this is kind of how your thumbnail should feature their suggestion, in my opinion. So, like I would remove your background or whatever. Like you have your character PNG. You don't have to use the background that I have there, but this is just to give you the composition idea. So I drew my community suggestions or whatever. I would have the suggestion be on there. I would have it be the most ridiculous suggestion that you had, because that's the entertaining stuff people want to watch. They want to see how creative you can be. Like what do you really have? And man, my nose is so itchy. What do you really have? What skills can you present? And yeah, so that's what I would do. And if you want, you could actually like feature the drawing in the background or blurred somewhere, circled. I don't know how you want to do that, but I would definitely feature the suggestion on your thumbnail because people want to click to see how it turned out. I wouldn't show that, like, when this, to me, it's like, why would I click? I can already see what it looks like. But that you're putting your payoff. I had only one suggestion. Okay, all right, we'll give it a little bit of time. If that's the case, then you might not want to make a video out of it. That might not be your best video idea, but in time you'll get some interesting ideas, and then this would be the time that I would make that video. And that's exactly how I would make that thumbnail. So yeah, hopefully that helps a little bit. If that's the only thing you could think to do, then maybe a time lapse of drawing it or something along those lines might be the better direction. But yeah, get creative. See what other ideas you can whip up. Okay? Okay. Number 50. Number 50. This guy's name is Sideways. Yeah, and yeah, you don't have to wait a while. Just come up with other ideas. You can wait a while on the community thing until you build up a bigger community, but don't stop making videos. That's all I'm saying. And you definitely have talent for drawing, so I would keep that up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. All right, y'all. You ready? Here we go. Waiting on these guesses, people. Something failed. Okay. I saw failed. Rocket League in Minecraft. I don't think this is Roblox. Thank you, Claudia. Rocket Leg. Losing streak. Rocket League. Rocket League losing streak. Yeah, it looks like a losing streak. Trial failed. Rocket League Vifio. Stock market fail game with car. That's it. That's gotta be it right there. Stock market fail. I get it though. That is like the stock market. That's the stock market graphic thing going on in the background. And also it looks like a little bit of Pong. What's this eye here? Is it just like a random eye? Okay, Rocket League sideswipe. It looks like you were going for something and you ended up with something else. Oh, I failed. Dude, that is bad. Like that, at least put them together in some way. There's no way that I could have figured that out. As far as I failed. Yeah, so I would definitely like put the eye on on like the right side, like I failed, maybe up at the top. But I think you kind of get that idea across already with the whole down thing. Failed so bad a score went down. Let's see what you got up here. One thing I would focus on is if it shows you scores of some sort, then you might want to... Yeah, okay, so this is on your phone. I think it's on your phone. I would definitely show something that when people watch it, they see something on the thumbnail that they can immediately recognize. They could probably understand that this is a car, but it's so dark on a black background that it's almost like that's definitely not the first thing I saw. It's also like the front side of it, and your game is it's the side of cars. The one thing that I really like about this is the gameplay. It looks really cool and interesting. I would try to focus on that and find the part where you failed the worst. And then I would put an arrow to that and I would say, I failed at that moment. Like that's what people might want. But that said, that's if you're going to say I failed. I failed probably isn't the best thing to say if you're trying to get somebody curious enough to click. So if there's something interesting that you could hold back from the viewer, so they'd have to click to find out what that was, then that would be the ideal circumstance. What I learned from failing in RL Sideswipe. So instead, okay, so your title is what I learned. Okay, cool. I get it. All right, let's say you have... Hold on. All right, we're going to take this picture, and I'm going to show you what I would do. One thing I really like about this is the way that the game looks. And if people are like looking for this content about Sideswipe, then they're going to look for the game that they've been looking at on their phone. And when they see it, that is not what I wanted to do. When they see it on your channel, then they're going to be like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, now this is not the greatest, but this is what I would do. What did I just select? Oh, I select words from the one. Okay. I would do never do this, right? And then let's say we put a little drop shadow on this beast. It's a terrible looking drop shadow. Make it a little sharper. A little sharper image. Okay, that never do this doesn't quite pop off like I want it to. It could be because there's no outline. So you could, yeah, you could go with an outline. That's fine. That's okay, John. You can do that. And then we're gonna bring it up. You guys ready? It's time. It's time. For those, if this is your first stream, apparently I am the arrow lord and I have a lot of arrows. So, yeah. Oh, that's a crappy arrow. I don't like that arrow. I don't want that arrow. I should delete that arrow. Okay, that was okay. Whatever. Nope, I don't like it either. It doesn't fit. Doesn't fit what I'm looking for. I'm going to try one more. More arrows than Legolas. More Legos than arrowless. Okay, now I know I don't play the game, so I know this probably doesn't make sense at all. But if you got something like this where it says never do this and it's pointing at your car or a car or something along those lines, like obviously it has to be something that makes sense. Like this car is doing something that you shouldn't do. If you say never do this and then you never show what you never should do in the video, then that's clickbait and you shouldn't be a YouTuber. But yeah, so that's what I would do. And then just for a little bit of an extra measure, I would blur blur this, and just gonna add a little bit of masking there. And basically I would just blur behind never do this, so it pops out more than, like, if there's anything sharp behind it, it makes it really difficult to read sometimes. So if you kind of blur behind letters, hell, even if you darken them a little bit, let me just lower the opacity. Not like that. Even if you darken things a little bit behind letters, that can work too. You could always do an outer glow of black or whatever, but I put a drop shadow under it, and I kind of still wanted that drop shadow to shine over behind this S. So yeah, that is what I would do. Hopefully that helps you a little bit. If anything, I would probably make all of this a little bit bigger now. So say we're just dragging this. Yep. I would make it like this. Yep. That's probably what I would do if, hold on one sec. Now I'm like into it. Hold on. Yeah, you want your car to be a little more in frame. So, yeah. And then if you had time, which you should, it's your thumbnail. If you could like cut your car out and make it brighter than everything else, that's what I would do. But that is like, that gives me curiosity about this now. I'm like, oh, what do I gotta do? Like, I never do what? I have to click to find out. And the fact that it's your gameplay, it already looks interesting. You could actually boost the color of it a little bit, like make it super saturated or brighter or whatever. Like that's what I would be focused on more than trying to make something make sense when you don't really need it to. Like that looks more interesting to me. So anyway, hope that helps. Hopefully that helps. All right, we're doing non-gaming. I did a lot on that one. All right, number 29. Oh, can't do that one. That one's tossing plastic. Number 118. You just submitted, and I am picking you. Actually, I'm not picking you. It's Dan's extension that's picking you. Okay, ready? What? Oh. I don't even know. Okay, here we go. All right, you guys are ready? Which one is it? It's not that one. Oh man. I love this. I don't even know what I'm looking at, but I love it. All right. No matter how many times you say "sir, my channel," I don't know what that means. Tier list. Yeah. Tier list. Tier list. That's exactly what I'm thinking. It's a tier list ranking tier lists. Rubik's Cube, I guess. Look, this is freaking awesome. It's the tier list. I mean, all right. So rating tiers on a tier list. I love that. I would probably just change your title. It says totally normal tier list, but I mean, we're all saying tier list of a tier list, rating tiers on a tier list. Any of those, just this tier list takes the, oh, come on now. I think it's awesome. A totally normal tier list. So bad, it's good. Yeah, seriously. Somebody said, this is the best idea. I agree. I love this. You probably, yeah, tier list, original title. Okay, so yeah, you already went there. So you're doing experiments. You kind of already have data that I don't. It's hilarious that you went this direction, because this totally normal tier list, this was like your original idea, and you saw what was wrong with it. Like, it's just, there's too much going on. You didn't understand it was a tier list. You put like, maybe that's divide, the blending mode of the tier list that you put over yourself. You're not quite the star. This is amazing. I love this thumbnail, dude. You can't You can't do any better than this, in my opinion, outside of creating more curiosity. I don't know how. I don't have a suggestion. Takes the L is hilarious to me, because it's like you have to click to know which one is the worst. Like, which one is the worst tier list? Like, it's great. It's really good. That generates curiosity enough. You hit all three, honestly. Just, you create curiosity, you caught my eye, and you conveyed an idea, man. That is such a weird idea that I have no idea how to give you normal advice for, but it's gonna do well, I think. It's already bumping up, so yeah, I got nothing for you, man. That's hilarious, though. You gave everybody a go subscribe to Glitch. That's awesome. Glitched with a D at the end, not an ED. All right, that was non-gaming, so we're doing gaming. Okay, got another more recent one. Oh, man, I remember this channel. I don't think we're gonna give you any more than we gave you last time, but we'll see here. Okay, you guys ready? Need more water. Five Nights at Freddy's. Five Nights at Freddy's. Cats. Wait, this is gaming? Yeah, it's gaming. Okay, Cats. A Let's Play. John hydrates. Horror game of some sort. The Cloud of Dandy. The World of Dandy. Did I just read Cloud instead of World? What happened to my brain? Horror game of some sort. How I Beat Dandy's World. Roblox scary game. Okay, so I guess it might be Roblox. I'm not sure. But it says Dandy's World directly on the thumbnail. I assume that's the game name. This person is Ashley Blight, the Saiyan Goddess Darcy's fan. Alright, after 3 days of waiting, I bestow upon you the inevitable Dandy's World now being played. Okay, so it's a game called Dandy's World. Okay. This one is tough. It's bothering me. What was the last video that we looked at? Oh, okay. You guys watched Beetlejuice or something along those lines, I think. Okay, yeah, so we're going to check out Dandy's World. Dandy's World is just a Roblox game. Okay, so what they show... That's 13 hours ago. Wow. Okay, it's pretty recent. New skins, new map, new trinkets. It's a lot of stuff they're offering that's new. All right, so that person is giving out value. It's like all these new things. We play as GG for the first time. Survive a dandy run. Dandy's World. How we got to 4. Okay, so a lot of this is like how we did something or offering something about the game. Yeah, here's everything about that subject. All right, so yeah, it's pretty clear what value these offer, even though this is like hurting my brain. Okay, so death by a Twisted Scraps Dandy's World #1. Okay, so it's just a Let's Play. I don't really have much to offer this because like you're kind of showing what I would think would be what you should show, which is a character in the background and your character. Like, it makes sense to me. The only thing I could really offer you about this, and it's just so weird, is that I would try one with gameplay. Like, the best scene that you could find of you actually playing this game. Because this one is like, it almost looks like a drawing of some sort. And so seeing the actual gameplay might get viewers that are interested in what it looks like to actually click and watch. I think I just said the word actually like 10 times, but I actually mean it. Yeah, so I would kind of look for the best... Wow. Yeah, the best screenshot. Something that's like action... Something that shows action or interaction with another character, or something interesting that happened in the game. Something epic, something funny, whatever. I would show that something that is eye-catching. I don't think it has enough saturation. Okay. Yeah, yeah. You could also bump up the saturation a little bit, like every time I click this. Okay, so the purple ground catches my eye a little bit, but there's not much going on that purple ground. Oh, that's interesting right there. Okay, so you've got a little bit of like a rainbow floor leading into a place with a bunch of friends, I guess, or players. Like, oh man, if that open shop thing didn't pop up, that's a pretty good view. Because you got the guy with the flower. So let's just pick this picture, for instance. If you wanted to see what it looked like more saturated, you could also get rid of the UI. You don't have to, because some people know what that looks like. But if it was just gameplay, you might crop it out. So you've got a picture like this, and then you bump up the saturation and exposure. I'm getting there. And then yeah, there you go. There's a little bit of saturated colors there. We got some exposure, like that last person said. And no, you don't want to offset anything. Yeah, so that would help a little bit. I would personally sharpen it just a little bit. Let me just, out of curiosity, I kind of want to see what it looks like sharpened. Nope, don't need clarity, texture, nope. By the way, a lot of people are like, well, how do you know when things are too much or too little? And honestly, like when I get to this point, I'm like looking at something, I'll put texture on it, and then I'm like, okay, I don't like how it looks here, and I'll just back it up. And then sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't like it at all. I'll do the same thing with all the knobs. And how do I know? I don't know until I start screwing with knobs, and then finally something might look right, and I'm like, all right, I'll go with that. There's no right way to do anything. The wrong way to do it is to not experiment at all. So I hope that was as profound as it felt. All right. Yeah, so that's kind of sharp. And then basically the only thing I don't quite like about this is this little open shop thing, which I could take the time and get rid of. I guess we can. But yeah, after this, you know what? I'm just going to send you this picture. Saiyan Goddess person. And I would love to see if it did anything for you, if it changed anything. Just I don't want to cut out their conversation in the end, but yeah, I don't know. Something along those lines is what I would do. I kind of think that's really cool, and you can throw your Dandy's World logo on there if you want, but I think that might catch some eyes. So I'm gonna save that for you, and if you want to A/B test it, you can. If you think it's going to screw things up, then don't. I don't want to be blamed, but I think that it might help you out a little bit. Okie dokie, we're going to move on to non-gaming. Okay? Okay. 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 Number 81. Wow. Sometimes people... Oh, come on now. All right. Here we go. Ready? Bam, bam, bum, bum, bump down. Yeah. Whoa. Exploring video, Forbidden Island, I'd say. Yep. Exploring. Yeah, I love this. I think it's awesome. We don't have to spend more time on it. Everybody kind of gets what's going on here. So there's some exploration going on. I love it. I think it's like really interesting. I would be interested to see if there was something to point out or a different image that you could use just to see as like an A/B, but this is already interesting enough in my opinion. So let's see how it actually did. 44,000 views. Okay, exploring NYC's creepy forbidden island. Oh, dude, come on. Like, there's got to be a zoomed out version of the island. Bam. With you pointing, even. Oh, man, this is gold to work with. So let's work with it. Oh, wow, look, there's like a plane up there and everything. Okay, so, I'm not gonna, like, ruin your streak right now because you already have, really, really great, views, right? So, but here's what I would do. I'm not saying you have to A/B this. It's just this is what I would do. So I would move the island over here. It almost looks like it was made that way. And then what I would do is I would actually take your regular thumbnail here. And I would put it up yonder. And the words Forbidden Island wouldn't be on that picture. So this is kind of what I would do. By the way, Forbidden Island is great for curiosity. That is such a great thing, a great word choice you got there. Let me go ahead and just like get a clone stamp of clouds or whatever. Dun, 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 dun. All right, just to give you the idea, and then of course I would throw in one of these bad boys. I would make it like a smaller arrow though. I wouldn't do anything too crazy. Probably, I don't know if red would work here or not, but it would definitely need to be more curved. But this is kind of what I would do. I would point at the island in the far, like you. Okay, so this thumbnail is telling me several different things. For one, it's basically saying like you did the work to get there because you're in the ocean right now, or you're in water and you're heading to the island that you're pointing at. And this picture is from that island, and the arrow is pointing at the island. It's just like, there's this forbidden island. So if your text was a little bit bigger, or if it was down here, Forbidden Island, then I would think, yeah, this hits all the points. Even small like that is okay. You could make it a little bit bigger over the bottom of this picture, but I really love this idea. I think that this kills, dude. And what a great idea. So I would try something along those lines. That was like the quickest way that I could put it together. And of course, like we did before, you could like crank up the saturation on the actual like this image. So you have some really bright blue sky going on. And then personally, I would get rid of the green tinge in the water, which is basically I would just color back over the saturation I just added. That way the green on the picture pops out, then the water isn't really competing with it. So yeah, that's what I would do. You could always make this image bigger, experiment with that a little bit, but yeah, I really love it. That's what I would do. Okay, let's move on to non-gaming. No, gaming, because this was non-gaming. What a really cool idea. Like, there are so many, like in these explore videos, there are so many potential thumbnails. Just because you see so much cool stuff, like, incredible. Like, inside the building and everything. Very, very cool. I could watch those forever. I don't want to close my eyes. All right, we are going with number 97. Don't want to fall asleep because I miss you, baby. We just had this person. All right, I've never had this happen before, and it's this guy again. I'm not gonna do it because it's not quite fair, but Glitched, the guy that had the tier list, this is the same guy. He just happened to get picked on the gaming side too, so he did non-gaming and gaming, and he got picked twice. So I'm not gonna pick you twice, man. I'm sorry. It's very, very cool though. I like your thumbnail. Yeah, so that's crazy. I've never had that happen before. Let's go ahead and pick a different one. 86. Doodle-doo-doo-doo-doo. Biddle-doo-doo-doo. Oh, I think this was a live stream. That's why it's looking a little funky. Okay, you guys ready? Oh, there it is. There's your 2-second test here. I guess I gave you a 4-second test. Horror Minecraft. I don't think so. Pokemon. I get it. Yo, Pokey Rogue. Yeah, it's Pokey Rogue. Gen 5 Pokey Rogue. Everybody saw it. It's pretty clear. This is kind of different for me because the guy's distracting. Well, it's a live stream, by the way. It's like sort of a Let's Play live stream, I believe. So it's totally appropriate that he's in there. And what's interesting is it's a vertical live stream, which I know people are doing. I kind of wonder how they're doing. I've never tested them out myself, but I'm just curious. But yeah, I'm good with it. Honestly, it's like you're the dude. You're doing the Let's Play. It's Pokey Rogue, Gen 5. I don't know how you. I don't know what you improve on this. We could check out Pokey Rogue Let's Play and see what happens. But since it's not live stream. See, the thing is, when you're doing a live stream, you don't exactly know what's going to happen. So you have to keep the thumbnail vague of sorts. And then afterwards, you could, if you're uploading it as a long form video, then you can go back and change the thumbnail and apply it to whatever crazy thing happened in that video. But if you made a thumbnail beforehand for a live stream, it's a little more difficult. So that's why I don't have much to say about it. I also recommend not submitting live streams for that reason. Live streams, or some people submit shorts, and I just skip them. Blind first run of Pokey Rogue. Yeah, so I guess if you had, since it's a live stream, if you had you acting a little more, like, see, these guys are looking at the screen, what they're looking at. A lot of Let's Plays do that because it's like, it sets up the expectation that you're watching them play something. So that might be something to try. And whatever you're looking at, if it's interesting, Pokey Rogue first run, that's probably interesting because the dude's so popular. It makes sense. So instead, you know, if you're looking at Pokey Rogue, the Gen 5 or whatever you got going on, I think that might be the way to go. It looks like they have, let's do a comparison here. They have a bit more saturation in their thumbnail. So we're just going to make yours the same. And we're going to see what it looks like. And when I do this, it's not right. When I do this, it's going to make you look really orange, probably. Actually, no, it won't, because you've muted your own color. So it might make you look like normal. Normal colored. Like a normal... Yeah, sometimes I put like a LUT over myself to dull down the redness in my face. and stuff like that, and that's it kind of looks like that's what you've got going on here. Like, see, his face is so much more red than yours. But, yeah, you guys got the same background, it looks like. So we're just going to bust up the saturation a little bit. And, yeah, I was worried it would make you look a little orange. But, yeah, see, when you take up the saturation to everything else, it looks amazing to me. Of course, you would probably want you to be toned down a little bit. We can just... Dang it, I meant to mask it, not just draw over you. But yeah, so that could help a little bit, but yeah, it looks so much better when there's so much more color on there. So just take that with... do that. That's what I'm saying. Gifted Gengar, you are welcome. Okay, we are going back to non-gaming. Non-gaming. Give me just 1 second here. Ba-ba-da-ba. I had to use nose spray, and like last time, I didn't want to give you guys the opportunity of me sticking something up my nose to Photoshop something crazy, because I know how y'all be. Okay, we're doing non-gaming. Okay, number 57. Okay, cool. It's got potential. Whoa, what the? Can you guys see what's going on? Like, just like, look at my face. Can you guys see like how much is flashing? This is insane. I guess maybe you can't. Cuz everything's just kind of bright, but it is like, yeah, you can see it. It's like reflecting. Anyway, yeah, it's quite the intro. Don't watch it if you're epileptic. That's all I'm saying. So, oh man, come on now. All right, you guys ready? Well, too bad. Okie doke. What is it about? Bow, bam, bum, 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 belly down, down, bum, bum, bop, down, bop, 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 ba, bow, bow, bop, 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 down. Band moves. Okay. We got banned moves. Banned from what? So, no info. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Banned show. Okay. Banned from YouTube. Maybe. Roblox. Electrical issues. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. So, we are banned. I won't spoil it. I have watched it. Okay. All right. First of all, I don't understand it because I was just playing too much with that. Banned from what, dude? This is there's no info here. Something is banned. It looks like there's a person in the background, but it is so like that is not the first thing I noticed. It looks like a naked woman almost. So you might need a little more information on what's going on. I would person at right is banned. Yeah. So I would probably first of all, it's obvious that you did it in Canva because of that, like, this loop swirly thing that everybody uses. It's your call if you want to use it, but I wouldn't because I see it on so many thumbnails. There's always one every week somebody's using it, and when everybody uses something, it just seems like it cheapens the idea. So I'm putting that out there for you. Your reaction is top tier. I love it. I love your reaction. I would almost make that more of the focus, and I would put it on like a darker background. If you could, if it was you, right, and then this image of this lady or whatever, like the gray extends behind you and you have a drop shadow behind you and you stick off the gray, that would look so much more professional than that red stuff. The arrows, it's too much. It's clear you're looking already over there. One arrow, maybe. these little like surprise things. It's clear that you're surprised. It's a lot of unneeded stuff in my opinion. So let's see what it is. 10 banned movies you can't legally watch. I had no idea it was about movies. It might be something to consider. But what I would do is I would focus on one movie and why it's banned, and I would make that the feature of your thumbnail and say it was number 7. I would put number 7 and like some words like banned or something like that. Or no one can, you can't legally watch this or something like that. Like no one can watch this, and then it says legally at the bottom. Like that's like just one of those advertiser tricks. It feels like I would try something along those lines. That would get me more interested because it's like, what is it? Why am I not allowed to watch it? And the legally almost means like, I wonder if anybody else noticed that said legally, or if this is just for me. I want to see what it is. Like it's just a little bit of trickery. So that's kind of what I would do. Let's see. I love the legally angle. 10 banned movies you can't legally watch. 10 banned movies in the world. We're just going to say that. All right, so we've got some pictures of movies, whatever. I'm really hoping that nothing crazy shows up. Movies that's like, yeah, this is insane. A lot of these are really old looking, I guess. Yeah, I would try to feature the movie, at least something that is visible, that somebody can like put the pieces together. I'm just saying the image that you got there, I had no idea. It was like one of those things that I just couldn't see, especially if it only had 2 seconds. So I'm gonna get vidIQ canceled. Hey man, if it shows up on YouTube, I'm not to blame. I'm sorry. Now that's why we pay for premium. I know what those ads can be. I've seen people on Reddit talking about it. It's like I wouldn't mind the ads if they monitored the ads. I see a lot of people saying that because I guess they're not safe for work. Anyway, we are gonna do some questions. So get those hashtag questions going, and we're jumping to gaming thumbnails while you guys get some questions going. Okay. Okie doke. Where are we at here? All right. Okay, you guys ready? Here we go. All right. Let's see what you got. I mean, this one definitely seems like it's for its own specific niche. Like you would have to like play it to recognize it, I think. But then again, I haven't been playing a whole lot of video games. I actually just Knights of Columbus. I just broke out Red Dead 2 recently again. Great game. Broken build or broken game. Okay. Broken build, I understand. Yeah. Crusader Kings 3. Okay, so nailed it. It is about Crusader Kings. WoW classic. This place is to learn, not ask for subs. Thank you so much. WoW classic. Donkey Kong. Skyrim. Donkey Kong. I don't know. Skyrim. All right. Yeah, a lot of people. My channel sucks. I'm quitting. Okay, peace. We are. Yeah. Somebody got Crusader Kings. Nailed it. Okay, so it says broken. It's clear it says broken, even though you hide the O. This is one of those words that it's like you get it. I typically don't like when a full letter is hid, but this is fine. It's obvious. So something's broken about Crusader Kings. I would try to make it obvious what is broken about it. There's something called an arrow, and that could help that out if you point to something that is broken. But Crusader Kings 3 is broken in the best popular way. Okay. This is one of those things where you might want to do an A/B test. If you have like the UI, say you're showing something about the game and there's a circle and the word broken pointing at it, then that's like, okay, I gotta click to find out what that dude's talking about. That might be another direction that you want to go. And I know that what you say is broken might not be a specific thing that you can point out, but just try to think of something. That way you can at least give it a shot. So I would, yeah, that's what I would do. Dude, this game looks fantastic. Well, that's obviously not the game, but okay, anyway. Man, when I grew up, I played Age of Empires 2. That was my thing for a long time. That and like Warcraft 2, which Warcraft, like, it wasn't what World of Warcraft is. It was a totally different thing. Okie doke. All right, let's get some of those questions. Y'all ready? Let's make it happen. Ow! I hit my foot. Okay. What's the best way to get an HD thumbnail without YouTube ruining the quality by compressing it? Creating it in its appropriate size. That's basically what you got to do. Yeah, I never have a problem with that. Even the, like, here, let's give this a little test, shall we? So let's, I don't know, let's open up this guy's thumbnail. I just want it to be clear that YouTube isn't compressing thumbnails to the point where they're terrible. This thumbnail was done in probably 1920 by 1080, which 1920 pixels by 1080 high, and then YouTube compresses it to 1270 by 720 or some BS like that. And yeah, so it just makes it like 75% size of what your thumbnail was, and it doesn't really mess with it a whole lot. So I guess just make it in the right ratio and you won't have a problem. I've never really had such a problem with that. Actually, it looks like it's about 50% the size, or maybe 60%, but yeah, you get the idea. All right, next question. What's the size of a thumbnail? Okay, yeah, so I use okay, this one, 1280 by 720. All right, 1280 wide by 720 high is what YouTube compresses your thumbnails down into if it's any bigger than that. But I always do it in 1920 by 1080. So 1920 wide by 1080 high. I just have like a little preset on Photoshop, 1920 by 1080. I just hit create, and there it is. That's what I do. And of course, yeah, YouTube will just slightly make it smaller, but it doesn't compress it and trash the quality all that much. Especially when it's so small and people are scrolling through their phones, it doesn't even matter. Like, if you're trying to make, I don't know, if you're trying to make like a beautiful masterpiece or whatever, thumbnails might not be the game you're trying to play. Okay, yeah, 16 by 9 ratio. You got it. Can you break down the basics of in approaching a thumbnail? I know you cover a variety of things, but if you had to make a step-by-step process anyone could apply, how would that look? Okay. All right, so the first thing that I would do... I have to come up with an idea that I can visually convey. So, man, it's difficult to do without showing you an example, but I'll try. So when if I'm thinking of thumbnails, or if I'm thinking of a video, I try to do thumbnails first before anything else. Okay, and it doesn't happen like that all the time, but actually, I can just show you some pictures. So I think of the idea first, and then I made a recent video that is about overthinking, okay? Now, when I think about overthinking, I had 3 ideas. This one was the first one. None of these are fully done, by the way. I hope I'm still showing the screen. This one was the first one. The idea was that it was like the worst trap for creators or something like that, and I was behind the bars, and then maybe it was how to get out of a trap, and then like it said something on the key, like it was a word. And the idea here was that it just didn't convey the idea of overthinking. It almost seemed like I was trapped in jail, like a Mr. Beast video. It didn't do what I wanted to do. So I approach things in a way that I experiment, and sometimes they don't work out. Here's one that's more appropriate, where I have a bunch of ideas that I've torn up, and I have my face in it. Still didn't convey the idea of creators until I finally did this one, and it was like, I can't finish anything. And then it was like, the keyboard, it definitely seems more creator-like to me. So I didn't really answer your question at all, but I guess the first thing that I do is I experiment with how can I convey this idea the most, and those are the things that I take into account. The first idea was the prison idea, and so I made a video about it, and now here I am like, oh man, nobody's gonna understand this video from this. But I'll take the idea and then I'll search on YouTube, man in prison or man behind bars reaching for key or something like that, and I'll look on Google, I'll look on Adobe stock images, whatever kind of gives me the idea of what composition I could use to convey the idea through a thumbnail, because it's really difficult. So yeah, I had this idea of me being behind bars, and to get out of the trap that I was in, I'm reaching for a key. And so I started searching for images of keys, images of people reaching for a key, behind bars, all that stuff. And so then I would basically kind of draw it out, and then I would take a picture of myself in that position, which I just had a couple bars around. And so I take the picture, and then I put it in Photoshop. I remove the bars, and I put real bars in front of me. And yeah, and then I end up with a thumbnail that I never used. That's kind of where the idea part comes out. But then when it comes to like colors and stuff like that, like I said before, I just kind of pick around until something works, or I'll see an idea online and I'll say, oh, that's really great. I have a swipe file on my Milanote that I think I should be able to show. And basically, it's where I keep all these ideas that really stick out to me for my personal channel, what I'm going to do with it. Hold on. This is a lot of House. I've been watching a lot of House lately, and I've been like copying and pasting links to House episodes where there are like really cool transitions that I don't even know why. Yeah, so I don't know. I have like a swipe file where I keep a bunch of ideas and inspiration. I'm just trying to find it. One sec. Okay, yeah, here we go. Outliers and inspiration. So I collect a bunch of channels and everything that's inspiring me to work with, like that works for my own personal stuff. And I keep those handy. So say I want to go and see what Mark Manson has been up to. Maybe one of his videos or thumbnails kind of piques my interest, and I'm like, ooh, I could replace this devil guy with something that applies to my channel, or maybe that thumbnail gives me an idea altogether. So yeah, it's a really convoluted way of how I go about things, and then I find outliers and I put them together, and sometimes I'll mimic that. Usually, if I'm looking for outliers, I'll find something. Like, say, this thing that everybody copied, as you can see, to get ahead of 99%. And I would just do my own version, and I'd put myself in it, and that would be more of a banger video. Like, these all went viral, so that would be more of a viral aim. And by the way, I wouldn't suggest doing this idea now. It's played its role in YouTube, but anyway, I can't quite give you a step-by-step process without really sitting down and thinking about it, but those are some of the ways that I go about getting my thumbnail thing accomplished. Sorry, that was a lot. But a lot of it is just me. Like, I have little notebooks and I just draw. I wish I had them handy. I could show you a bunch of ideas, but yeah, I keep notebooks handy and I'll just have ideas all the time, and then I'll start Googling the keywords to those ideas and see what works visually that my brain couldn't quite put together. And yeah, that's like usually the most important step, because I used to make thumbnails that were just way too busy, and I had to just kind of keep the idea and see what works for other people, and then use that to make my idea fleshed out. Sorry, that was a lot. It's a difficult question, man. I'll really think about that, though. Okay, yeah, that was a lot. How would you make a thumbnail before the video if you had to make a video for a picture for the thumbnail? How would you make a thumbnail before the video if you have to make a video for a picture for the thumbnail? It depends on what you mean. If like you need the actual video footage to use as a picture for the thumbnail, then sure, I get what you're saying, but the way you make a thumbnail before you even film the video is you film a video. You take pictures and then you make the thumbnail. And that's how you know that this idea is great. You've already got it fleshed out, and then you can film your video. There's no rule that says you have to use an image from your video as a thumbnail. In fact, sometimes that's the worst thing to do. I do it sometimes, but just like those pictures that I just showed you, none of those were made from the video that I actually made. Yeah, not one. I ended up getting the idea across better because I didn't use it. Like this picture it's totally fake. If I ever need to use, like, that's not my chair, that's not my computer. I just used this pose and then I kind of slapped it all together, and I didn't use that from a video. I actually used it from one video where I did a bunch of different poses and stuff. And yeah, so you don't have to use the video that you're making as your thumbnail. Like, definitely not. But you can. You can if you film a video first and then you use that as inspiration, or if you're doing like a let's play, then let's plays are a little bit different. It just yeah, it just depends. Like, I don't do let's plays, so I have that option. But if you do let's plays, then film your video first, and then you know exactly what to focus on that happened during that let's play that people have to click to see. So everybody has a different process. That's just mine. How do you know the best angle for a gaming thumbnail? Dude, go look at other gamers and see what they're doing. Seriously, that's the easiest way. Angles are tough, right? Angles are just like a very weird thing to do. But if you go and you search Josh Drive Hayes or something like that, go look him up, or Doug, and just see the exact angle, and then take your camera and just kind of put it on a tripod or wherever and just kind of match his, and then take your pictures or take your whatever, and yeah, match somebody else until the best way to become a professional is by copying other professionals until you come into your own, until you have your style. It's like you kind of fake it till you make it, but that's what everybody does. That's how you learn. Yeah, that's what I got to say about that. What skill should I focus on learning? Example, thumbnail, editing. It depends on what your channel is, I guess, but I would say writing. If I have anything, if I could give, like, writing is the most important thing I've learned how to do in my entire YouTube career. Especially when I learned how to tell stories. The moment I learned how to tell stories, like, everything changed. I got my job, like, everything just started to really, really pop, and I started to get hundreds of thousands of views on TikTok and Instagram, just these little videos that I was making when I learned how to do storytelling. And it's its own art, for real. But when you write, you gain a clarity of what you bring to the world. And when people ask you questions, you seem like a professional, even though you don't feel like one. It's because you've written it out before. You've gotten your thoughts out on paper, that you seem like this very put together person that's like, oh yeah, well, this is why, this is how. And in my opinion, that's how you grow in this industry. It's just like you know exactly what you're doing. Your thoughts are out. So writing, in my opinion, is the best thing to focus on. Outside of that, articulating and developing a personality, just like practicing. If you're like a live streamer, doing it all the time, just live streaming it and enjoying it. And the more you do it, you learn something a little bit every day. If you really want to focus on a skill, then those are the two I recommend. But outside of that, if you want to focus on thumbnails, editing, all that stuff. Those are the easy things, in my opinion. It's about writing and personality development, in my opinion. It's very, very tough. Whew! Okay, that's it. That is it for this one. We went a little bit over, but y'all are just asking crazy, insanely hard questions. Insanely hard questions. So yeah, that is it for this one. Thank you for shopping, shoppers. I will see you in the next one, and so will Claudia. Till then, subscribe.